thing. I love stories. I'm a story guy. I like to tell stories, I like to listen to stories. I love watching movies. I'm a story guy. So do me a favor and tell the story how you guys got involved with iHub, how you heard about helium, and the whole thing with the friend of yours and all that kind of jazz. I love this story.
That's a great story, and you're right. Stories are what it's all about, and all of you, everybody who's on this or listening to this, you're creating your own little story right now, right? It's everybody has their
Yeah.
own story, but in the meantime, you can use mine because it's a great story. So I've been around this this industry of relationship marketing for the past 12 years or so. My brothers and I have people come to us all the time with different ideas and different things, and certain people we definitely have respect for, and they are smart people, and we say hey, it's worth taking a look at. um, you know, we're over the past 5 years for sure. We've been really concentrating on certain kind of a, let's call it a theme about different um, sources of revenue that we do, and they all kind of keep the same theme, and that's we're all about trying to save people money, right? And there's lots of different ways we can do that. Is saving people money. That's kind of been what we've been doing for the past 5 years, very successfully. When I saw this, I was like, all right, it's not saving people money; it's putting money in people's pockets, right? That's even
Mm-hmm.
better
Yeah.
than actually saving
Amen.
people money. It's actually better. It's like I didn't think we could ever find anything that was better than saving people money, but then I found this, or I heard about this, um, and it was like just giving people money. So I said, all right, this is worth paying attention to. So there's a good friend of mine who I've known for 12 years now, traveled to many different continents with him on mission trips, etc. And he's somebody who I knew was involved in blockchain. He was involved in cryptocurrency. He was an authority, right? He's a guy who like speaks to Bloomberg, on their
Oh, wow.
box, whatever. So he's a guy that I knew would know about it. So after I saw the iHub presentation, first call I made was to my friend Doug, and I said, "Hey, Doug, have you ever heard of helium?" Right. So that's a question that when you ask people that, you're going to get 99% of the time, yeah, that's that thing you have in a balloon, right, at the birthday parties, right? And
Right.
that's what most people think of helium. Well, Doug's answer was, he says, "Oh yeah, I know all about helium." He says, "I bought my first helium miner in December of 2019. It got delivered to me in February, and fast forward to today, I own 75 of these helium hotspots, and I have them all scattered about, where he lives down in the Jersey Shore, Rumson, Red Bank, Atlantic Highlands, etc. That whole area in Jersey." So I said, "Well, Doug, tell me, how's it going? Is this real?" And he says, "Jim, it's the most amazing thing I've ever seen." He said, "We started out with we got one box and realized that we weren't going to do any damage with one box. So he said we immediately went out and got him and another fella. His name is Stefan. They bought like 10 boxes each. And as soon as they bought the 10 boxes, they realized, no, we need more. Right? This is really big. So I think they ended up with their initial. They got 25 boxes, and Stefan worked on one area. Doug worked on another area close to each other, but maybe 3 or 4 towns away from each other, and they systematically put these boxes there. So he says, "Jim, it was amazing." He says, and in like the middle of 2020, all of a sudden, like things really started to click. We had a lot of boxes. They were all talking to each other. The price of HNT was continuing to go up. It started at 50 cents. It went to $1. Then it went to $3, then $4. And he said, all of a sudden, I was kind of not paying attention to the HNT that I was earning. But I looked at my wallet and I saw that I had earned like $15,000. So he said we immediately went out and invested and reinvested and bought more machines. So now between the two of them, they have about 150. But the story that really got me, this was in like I was talking to Doug in May of this year. It was late May, early June, right? And he told me, "Jim," he says, "let me tell you the story." He says, in this was in March or April. Him and Stefan were down in Costa Rica, right? And Stefan, particularly, this was his story. Stefan is a guy who's got 5 kids, and him and his wife, especially during this COVID thing, have chosen to homeschool the kids, right? The kids are homeschooled. So they just made that decision and whatever. So he said to his wife, he says, "Well, why don't we homeschool them in Costa Rica and teach them how to surf?" Right? So they went down for March they were going to go down for 2 weeks. Um, Stefan his boxes were churning, they were making a ton of money. And he said to his wife, he said, "Honey," he said, "I got an idea." He said, these boxes, it's incredible what's happening with these things. Let's go down here on this trip, and let's make it a trip of a lifetime. Let's try to spend as much money as our boxes earn, right? Let's not come, let's spend all the money that the boxes earn. Well, fast forward,
Nice.
fast forward, he was in an Airbnb, 10,000 a week is what he was paying for the Airbnb.
Oh,
He ended up extending the trip by a week. He stayed there for 3 weeks, and they went on dolphins. They did the fishing. They did everything. You ate like kings, like lived it up. And he came home with 50 grand. He couldn't spend it all. He couldn't spend it all. So I said, "All right, you got me. You got me. This is worth taking a little bit of time."